What's good? It's your boy, the Real Chief A1. You're now watching another episode of Hip Hop Natives Podcast. This is episode 7. Thank everybody for tuning in. Thank everybody for the support and all like that. So today on this episode, man, since we call Hip Hop Natives Podcast, we're going to break that down a little bit. Like I told y'all before, you know what I'm saying? I'm Native American, half Native American and shit like that. I got a lot of Native American history and shit like that. But that's only a double entendre of what the natives mean. Hip Hop Natives is being like somebody would say a native New Yorker, you know what I'm saying, like that. You're a native to the hip hop game. You was born in it, you was engulfed in it, you was raised on the hip hop. So, you know what I'm saying, you're a hip hop native. You're a native to the game. You're not just a visitor. You're just not just a casual listener. You were really a hip hop native, you know what I'm saying? So I was thinking, like, who were some of the hip hop natives back in the day who made it when they were super young, like child stars in the rap game and don't get enough credit nowadays? And you be thinking about, like, you know, how young some of these people was when they started careers. I know we think about the actors, the child stars and stuff like that, but like, you ever thought about some of the actors and how old they was and the impact that they put in, you know what I'm saying, at a young age, and some of them are still moving and shaking to this day? So I figured we just run off a couple of names, and we run off a couple of, you know what I'm saying, real hip hop natives who made a big impact in our life, and some of them who was just super young, came out the gate swinging, maybe, you know, didn't have the long-term career, the longevity, or the trajectory of some of these other artists. But tell me what you think. You also, you know, shoot me your DM and shit like that. Let me know who we left out, who you think is another, you know, child star, hip-hop native from back at a young age. So, you know, just tap in, let me know what you think. You know, one of the dopest underground, and I wouldn't even say underground, you know, forgot about child rappers or young hip hop natives and shit like that, young artists who started early and shit like that. Y'all remember Shaheem the Rugged Child? Y'all remember Shaheem? Shaheem used to be down with Wu-Tang and all like that. He used to be signed to Wu-Tang, I think, or a Wu-Tang affiliate, doing movies, and I think he was on Moesha and TV shows and stuff like that. Shaheem started probably like 10, 12 years old. Young, like Bow Wow young. You know what I'm saying? So salute to Shaheem the Rugged Child. I know he was in some shit here, did some time. He just came home. I seen him on a couple of podcasts and all like that. But he's definitely a hip hop native, raised by the OG Wu-Tang niggas and shit like that. So he came up in the game on some real hip hop native shit. So salute to Shaheem the Rugged Child. Since we said it, man, you gotta give respect to Bow Wow for being like 8, 10 years old on the same shit when he first started. You know what I'm saying? Getting thrown on stage when he probably was 5, doing, you know what I'm saying, his parents had him at concerts and situations where he bumping into Death Row at early as like 5, 6 years old and shit like that. So on that aspect, you gotta give it up to Bow Wow being the hip hop native and shit like that. You gotta, you know what I mean? He been doing this shit with these younger. He out here scamming and shit like that right now, but he still, you know, did the movie thing. He did the music shit. He just ain't had the super longevity in the music shit, but he still hosting and moving and shaking. So you always got to salute him on that. And if you think about it, think about who Bow Wow eventually got signed to, So Def. You can't sleep. Jermaine Dupri was dancing back in one of them Houdini or some shit group carrying crates, and his father was some kind of music exec or some shit like that. So he's another one hip hop native who brung on more young hip hop natives. So salute to JD, salute to Jermaine Dupri, you know what I'm saying? One of the, you know, legends in the games, producers, labels, moguls and shit like that. Definitely a hip hop native, man. I forgot about it. He started dumb young when he was young and shit like that. Since we on So Def, just think about how old was the Brat when she signed to So Def? Like, Jermaine Dupri put out a lot of hip hop natives. Like, the Brat had to been like 16, 17, 15, some shit like that when she started rapping, wasn't it? I mean, yeah, she was young. Jermaine Dupri known for going with the younger, you know what I'm saying? No, I ain't saying nothing funny, but he usually go with the younger crowd and shit like that. So I'm thinking about the Brat, and it just automatically in my mind, it's like, damn, hip hop natives crisscross. So Def had a whole slew of the hip hop natives and shit like that. So that's crazy too. So RIP to one of them. Chris passed away and shit like that, but they wouldn't be like in the top 5 of the hip hop natives because, you know, for a small period of time, people was, you know, wearing the clothes backwards or some shit back in the day, and you know, jumps still get played every once in a while and shit like that. But the longevity with the music career, it was real short-lived. So, but shout out to Chris Cross, RIP to Chris, you know what I'm saying? Hip hop natives, definitely since a young age. Lil Romeo, shit. Salute to Lil Romeo, you know what I'm saying? He's definitely a hip hop native. Pops in the game, uncles in the game, you know what I'm saying? Sisters in the music game. So he was brought up into the hip hop game, you know what I'm saying? He was brought up in the hip hop. So So he definitely another one that's on that list. Fucking one of the dopest rappers alive started 12, 13, 14. Shout out to Lil Weezy. Lil Weezy is another young child prodigy in the hip hop world. Like, he's definitely a hip hop native too, and he started probably what? Like I said, Hot Boys when he was 12, 10, 13, 14, whatever year it was. It's like, look how young he was when he started. Whether it was 11, 12, 13, 14, you know, he started when he was a real young dude, and he, look, probably pushing 40 right now, but doing hip hop 26 years. Eat, sleep, shit, breathe hip hop, and now some skateboarding shit. But salute to Weezy, salute to Lil Wayne. You know what I'm saying? Definitely another one, hip hop native from the earliest, one of the earliest ages was him and Bow Wow and Shaheem, like from the earliest of early preteen ages and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That's dope. You know what I'm saying? And I speak on that because I'm the same way. I started super early and shit like that, getting features and shit like that super early. So I salute to all the hip hop natives, man. You know another one and shit. Once again, this motherfucker Jermaine Dupri got his hand all over this damn episode. Remember back in the days, Jermaine Dupri had that show that was like young people coming up in hip hop trying to get signed. It was like a performance. They go write rhymes and shit like that, and they come back out and they perform in front of them and they judge them like on some, you know, America's Got Talent type shit. Salute to Lotto. Lotto came from that, and I don't even know if she was the winner or second place or whatever. But I remember back in the day, it's like, yo, that's that little young girl from that show. You know what I'm saying? 8, 7, 10 years ago, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? She had to be 15, 16, whatever, or maybe even younger than that on that show. So salute to her. She's engulfed in the hip hop game since 10 decades plus, and she's mad young. So that's another one of the newer era people who I think is killing the game. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to think about the newer era with the dudes, with the young boys. You know what I mean? You got to think about exactly what I said. You got to think about the young boys and who's the number one young boy, NBA young boy. When he dropped, might have been like 16, 17 years old. You see the progression and shit that he you know what I'm saying, trying to elevate his life and shit like that, stay out of trouble, stay out the way, and shit like that. He started in the game since early. You could tell that he getting, you know, a little fed up at times with the game and shit like that, but he started when he was super young and smashed the game, killing the YouTube numbers, the streams, all like that. Like, that nigga is the number one streamed or number one YouTube artist and shit. Up there with some of the craziest names, the Taylor Swifts and the, you know what I mean? That nigga's number one. And if he ain't number one, as soon as he drop, he will be. He got the most YouTube views out of all artists and shit like that. So salute to young boy. And I ain't got no disrespect to whoever you got beef with. I'm just talking about starting off in the game young and shit like that. And some of the people that you know what I'm saying, your oppositions, they started the game young too. So salute to everybody, you know what I mean? Coi Leray, another one too. Father, Benzino, you know what I'm saying? One of the owners, creators of the most legendary magazine in the hip hop game, the Source magazine, the Source Awards, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. So you know she was born into hip hop, like, and it's crazy to see the trajectory right now without no help from her father who was in the hip hop game, you know what I'm saying? She turned out to be a bigger artist than, you know what I'm saying, her own father. So salute to her again. You know what I'm saying? We talked about her on the lady list. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? She doing her thing. So salute to Coi Leray, another certified hip hop native. Like, probably came out the womb and went to a studio or something like that. Real shit. That's dope as fuck. Another female artist I be thinking about too. I'm like, damn, Remy was dumb young when Pump bumped into her and signed her. Like, Remy had to be about like 15, 16, 17 tops when she got signed and shit like that. So I'll be like, damn, salute to Remy. She from the Bronx, so you know she's born, eat, sleep, shit, hip hop since it came out, since inception. So she's another hip hop native, killing it. You know what I mean? So salute to all the hip hop natives. That's what I be saying. Like, that's just part of it. And you don't gotta be a child. I'm just talking about the youngest. I be thinking about, like, it's crazy to see some of the artists still pushing to this day and think about, you know, like, it's like LeBron. Like, they started when they was 16, 17, some 14, 15. You know what I'm saying, younger, and still had a fucking crazy career. Some people might not have the biggest singles and shit like that, but longevity, career, you know what I'm saying, features, TV shows and shit like that, movies. Remy got the Battle Rap League, you know what I'm saying, Chrome 23. So that's crazy. Salute to Remy. She been going hard for 2 decades, you know what I'm saying, plus. So that's some real shit. Queen Remy Martin, salute. You know what I mean? You know one the person I'm gonna tell you who's definitely a hip hop native. He's the first. He did it first. That nigga's the first hip hop native. He the first youngest to ever do anything. You know what I mean? That nigga Soulja Boy was the first. I should have put him first on the list. Yo, Big Draco, I don't want no smoke, right? You know what I'm saying? I don't want no smoke, Draco. Like, but that's another certified hip hop native. Cause when he came out with that Crank That shit, he might have been 15 years old or some shit like that, and 16 years old or shit. Made the production, put it out, promoted it, did his little YouTube scheme where he tagged it as like a 50 Cent song or some shit like that. Some wild shit, like just genius mind as a young kid. So he's definitely top of the list. If I would break all these artists down and put them in the top 5, Soulja might be up there in the top 5 as far as like young child prodigies in the rap game. Definitely a hip hop native, definitely a young super mega star, and still pushing to this day. No matter what you say about him, he stays popping in and out, relevant. And like I said, no matter what you say about him, you saying something about him. So salute to Big Soulja, big salute to Draco. You know what I mean? That's what's up. Another older person I think about, I be thinking about like, how old was LL Cool J when he dropped and went fucking gold or double platinum, whatever he went out when he dropped his first project. Had a whole record label, Def Jam, on his back to start off with. You know what I mean? Like, think about that shit. I think about that shit like him, like Roxanne Shante. My uncle used to fucking like what's that nigga who made the forgot his name, who made the song I Got It Made? Special Ed. That ain't telling me like back in the days when I was mad young, he's like, yeah, that's my favorite rapper because he was like the same age as me when he came out rapping. I was like, damn, Special Ed was like 15, 16 when he came out with that song. I don't know, that's a little bit before my time, but like it's still like that shit is fire. That shit is fire. Another hip hop native in the game. Salute to him, Special Ed and shit like that. I be thinking too, like, think about how old was Nas when he dropped Illmatic. How old was Nas? 17? He must have wrote that shit when he was 16. Nas another one, 30 plus years in the game or 30 years in the game, just smashing. Like, definitely, that's like upper echelon, real super hip hop native, like, you know what I mean? Cause he put out a classic, unforgettable body of work and had to write that shit when he was about 16, 17, you know what I mean? So that's another super hip hop native. Salute to Nas, salute to everybody who's been grinding hip hop from the ground up. Treat it as your job, as your lifestyle and everything like that. Don't let these vultures come in and swoop down and take over the, you know what I'm saying? When the food is plentiful now everybody want to be a part of this shit like that. And all you other motherfuckers too like that. I be here seeing a lot of people be hating and shit like that, telling and trying to like, what is it, like trying to like discourage like young creators and shit like that. Keep on creating, keep on making your podcast. Some of the people at the top, you know what I'm saying, they don't want to see young people come in and take their spot. They don't know how to shit, you know what I'm saying, share the food. There's plenty of food, but motherfuckers want to act like they the only ones who can eat. So keep doing your thing, man. Keep working, keep grinding. If you're a hip hop native, never, you know what I'm saying, fall out of love with hip hop. Keep grinding, keep working. If it's your job, it's your profession, if it's your love, just keep doing what you gotta do, man. Salute to all the hip hop natives out there. If you're looking for me, find me on Instagram at TheRealChief81. Make sure y'all shop at officialshop.bigcartel.com. Make sure y'all shop at officialshop.bigcartel.com. You know what I'm saying? And show some love, man. A1.